a particular variable, declaration of a variable, and identifiers of the variables. So these are the 4 topics which we need to discuss. Now, what I'll try to do is I'll try to mix up with this particular data types in the variable so that it would be easy for understanding. First of all, what is a variable? Raise your hands. I'll ask individually. What is a variable? I think I have been jumped out of it. Okay. Vinod, what is a variable?
So variable is we can store the values and we can declare the variable as first. We need to give what is the data type to store that value, how much size it is, like that, and we need to give one variable name, and we have to assign the assigning operator, and we have to give the values.
Okay, so that's a theoretical definition which you have been told. See, to remember it for a longer time, we will go for kitchen, right? In our home, we'll have kitchens, right? As soon as we went there, my mom used to keep sugar jar. So there would be a jar, so where she would be storing all her sugar. And after certain time, she changed from sugar to dal, and after some time from dal to salt. So now you see it, actually the content of that particular jar is changing or the jar is changing.
Content of the jar is
Content.
changing.
Content is the
So now you need
content
to
is changing.
understand that that particular jar is stable, but the values which means it was storing, that is consistently getting changed, that is varying from one point to another point. So that is called, this is as a variable. Variable is nothing but constantly it changes the value, but not the jar. Now, this is an example which Dwarka have we discussed. Int a equal to 10. Now, when I have been given a equal to 100, so I'm just trying to change this particular value. See now, a changed or value changed? Value changed. Always you need to remember that. So this particular variables will not change. Variable values will change. That's the reason it is called as a variables. So it varies from one place to another place, or one value to another value. So then that is called variables. Now, here you have 2 concepts. Many of the people confuse when we are asking this one. This shows your understanding. Now, what is the differences between assigning and declaration? Declaration. What is declaration and what is assigning? Raise your hands. Aarti.
Yes, sir. Declaration is like declaring a variable. Assigning is giving the values to that particular variable. For example, int a is a declaration, and a is equal to 10 will be the assigning the values to that particular variable.
Right. Good. So always you need to remember, declaration is nothing but int a. I'm just declaring this particular value.
Which we are not able to see the screen.
Oh, you should have been told me. I know. I don't know. I thought I'm sharing this and explaining this. So now I don't know whether you people seen it. So first explanation I have been given on the variables, and second explanation I was giving you this, and third one is assigning and the declaration. So declaration is nothing but we are declaring this particular variable. Assigning means you can assign a equal to 100. Means when I'm writing the code, I can first int a I have been given and a equal to 100. So now this is called declaration. This is called assigning.
Assigning.
So now if you see here, these two statements, what I'm trying to do, I wanted to add it into a single statement, int a equal to 100. So you need to know this particular important thing. So assigning and declaration. Okay. Now, when we wanted, we are using these particular variables, right? So when you are defining these particular variables, the most important thing which you need to remember, A, B, C, D, you don't do this. Learn, while you're learning itself, learn it in a standard way so that it would be easy for you to remember and then practice when you're practicing it. When you go for the real time also, you'll practice in the same pattern. How I need to, then how I need to do this? Always you need to remember, when you declaring a variable, the variable name should be start with the small letters. And how I need to define? So now for an example, this is an int. So now int a, rather than defining in this one, so you know that this is a number or a row value or some you know that meaningful information, right? So you are defining it for age. At that point of time, what you'll do, int age. I don't want to write continue. I usually write caps, so that's where it is hard for me to write in this pattern. So int, this is small, and a should be capital H. So this is called Hungarian notations. Notation means it's a standard. So if you are representing this by this, seeing this particular variable, I can understand that this is integer. So now how I need to define int age. So I'll just write in the caps so that it would be easy for you to understand. Int, okay, this I need to define it in small age. So this is how you need to do it. So first three letters should be small. Next it would be this one. So this is called camel notation also. So now camel will have the hump, right? Camel notation and Hungarian notation, they have a hairline differences. But you no need to worry about that. You follow this. Okay, camel, you'll have it, right? It will have small thing and then hump and then normal, right? So that's the reason this is called camel notation. Yesterday I told snake notation while defining for something, right? I don't remember what is. At that time, snake notation is nothing but, for an example, unified, okay, uni framework, uni underscore framework underscore TA. So now you see this will be giving this underscores. So this is called snake notation. This is called camel notation.
Project name, na sir?
Anything, yeah, project name. So you can give this with this particular snake notations. And here, this is called camel notations. So int, this a capital, ag. So this is how you need to give this. Now, if it is a string, string, now I need to give it as a name. How I need to give this? str in small letters, name in capital me. So this is how I need to define. So the first three letters should indicate what type of variable is this, which is in the small letters. And the variable name here, it will go up, means bigger one. And remaining thing, it will go with a smaller one. So this is called camel notation. And this is where you need to declare any particular variables. Don't use A, B, C, D. Now, what it will happen is, when you go for real-time projects, in the real-time projects also, you'll be writing the A, B, C, D. If you write this one, they will crap your code. Always remember, because now you define why we need to keep this. So you should know everything with logic, not with magic. Okay, so why we should have this? For an example, I defined this one in the first line of the code as name. Now in 10,000 lines I have written my code. 9,950 line I'm using this name. I don't know whether this is an integer, string, char, boolean. I don't know, right? If I have been appended this one str in front of this, by seeing this one I can understand, hey, this is a string. to identify that particular variable, because you will be defining that variable somewhere else in some other file. But while we calling and accessing, just we call it with this name, we don't know what is that particular things, right? See, always you're writing in one class file now, right? You need to connect more than 50 to 100 files like this. Means one file data you need to ask, means call in another Java file, one file in another file. So we'll have the link of things. At that point of time, how you can call this or how you will remember this? So that is the reason you have to be very much cautious in terms of this. So be cautious while you're defining it. So this is how. So now if it is a float, then FLOAT, okay. Now small f, LT, and float. So now you can write here the name. So now, or else you can say that percentage. So this should be capital. This all should be small. Double, DLB, Boolean, BLN. These are in the small letters. You'll write it, and the variable name you'll be writing it. So this is what the things which you need to follow, and these are the standards which you need to follow on this. Always you need to remember when you're declaring a variable, so the variable should start with the first three letters with what type of variable is that, and the name of that one appropriately. So that is a proper way of declaring a particular variable. And assigning a variable, so that would be assigning a particular value to that particular variable. Okay, any questions here? Any questions?
No, sir.
And when you are declaring this particular syntax, okay, this is what the syntax is nothing but a rule. When you are declaring any particular, means we are creating any particular variable, so this is the standard which you need to follow. So if you see here, what is a type? Now what is a type means? It is referring to the data type. What is the different data types we have it? So different data type, variable name, and what the value you are assigning it. Now what is this called and what is this called as? What is this? What is this?
So 10 is an value, A is an variable name.
That is okay, but
N
in
is N is constant.
Integer data type.
Okay.
go for your third standard math.
10 is whole number.
So this is called, what is this?
Assignment.
Assignment.
RHS, LHS. In our I don't know if you're 90s kids, you will be understanding that. So you will be having that LHS equal to RHS, hence proved, right? So now this is LHS value and this is RHS value, right hand side value, left hand side value. Okay, now what we are trying to do is, when means what you meant by assigning is assigning the RHS to the LHS is called assigning. Means you're going to store this particular value into this. So this is called assigning. So you are defining a variable, and into this particular variable you are storing this particular value. Now, when you are trying to store this particular value, it should require certain size, right? Now for an example, you bought your mobile phone. So when you're buying your mobile phone, so you'll see that what is the RAM, and then also you see the size, what is the internal memory size. Or you wanted to buy external memory, so you have 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB, 512 GB, 1024 GB, which is sorry, MB, so KB. So now that would be converted, right? Okay, let me can you tell me the conversion rates? Okay, conversion rates means how many bytes make 1 KB. KB means
Kilobyte.
Kilobytes.
MB
Kilobyte.
means
Megabyte.
Megabyte.
GB means
Gigabyte.
Byte.
TB means
Terabyte.
Terabyte.
ZB means
Zettabyte.
robo, speed 1 zettabyte. So zettabyte is this. Now 1 KB means
1024 bytes, sir.
1024
Byte.
Byte, sir.
byte. Now 1 MB means
1024 KB.
KB. So now same 1024 MB equal to 1 GB. Now 1024 GB equal to 1 TB. 1024 TB equal to 1 zettabyte. So
Yes, sir.
now this is where this size is. The same way, now you wanted to store, if you wanted to store an integer, it have certain size. Why we require these sizes? These are all concepts you'll be knowing under the object. But still here, the most important thing here, it is in the constructor. So the previously you've seen some value in this particular things, right? This is constructor. So this, if you wanted to understand the concept of constructors, so when we go for the OOPS concept, there will be talking about it. What is a constructor and all other stuff. Okay, so coming here, now we are assigning this particular value here. Okay, and once after this particular we have been assigned the value, it will store into the LHS. I don't know where you have been diverted for this. Somewhere else, which topic I'm talking, I have been jumped. Means I diverted slightly. Okay, so here first we'll be giving the data type, variable name, and the value which we need to store. And always you remember it will be followed with the semicolon. Now either you can assign integer, string, whatever the values you wanted, you can assign on this one. Okay, final, don't see this one now, so we will see it in the last. Now whatever the values you wanted, you can print with this one. Now while we printing this, what is the answers you'll be getting? Did you anyone practice test? So now if I print this one, what is the value I'll be getting this? Will I get 5 plus 6, or it will be giving me the 11?
11, sir.
11.
11, sir.
11.
So you need to know that when you are passing your variables, what would be the output? Actually, this would be your quick Java questions. Now, if I given this, what it will print in the full name? John Dio, or what it will print?
John Space.
John.
So John Dio. So this will be printing for me. Now, let me go for this. If I'm giving it hello with this, now how this would be print for me?
Hello,
John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
How it would be printed?
Hello, space.
Concatenated with
Concatenation of
So now you need to understand that this is a concatenator operator. What do you mean by concatenator operator?
Combining the string value with
Combining of
Okay, let me take you through this. What did this will print for me now? What it will print for me?
11.
11.
But is
Seriously?
5, 6.
concatenated?
Assigning value wrong.
But this is a string type, right? So it won't
Assigning value is wrong.
5 plus 6.
5 plus 6.
See, the basic problem is this will print me the error message.
Error.
Yes.
This is a string. How I need to define a string? The declaration means assignment
Double quotes.
itself, it's a
Double
wrong.
quotes.
Yeah, double quotes.
Now tell me what it will print for me.
5 plus 6.
5, 6.
5 plus 6.
5, 6.
56, sir.
See,
They
now
will
when I have been
5,
passed
6.
in that way, it given me the error. See, always you need to remember one thing. You need to read the error message. So it is very clearly saying, boss, you are given as an integer and you declared it as a string. You can't convert this one. So very clearly it was giving the error message. Now let's see what it does next. How many people said 5 plus 6? See, this is concatenator operator, right? So now when we have been gone for this one, did it printed John plus Dio? Did it printed John plus Dio?
No, John Dio.
John Dio.
Absolutely. Now, how come now it will print here 5 plus 6? Many of the people is saying that 5 plus 6, right? How you'll get that? So these are the things which you need to practice. When you practice only, then you'll understand these things. So this is how the printing of the things would be there. So that is where they have been given with the multiple examples. Okay, so now declaring variables. So now anyways, we have been declared, right? Now what is the difference between this and this? If you declare like this, what it will happen? If you declare like this, what it happen?
Both are
Sir,
same only.
both are same only, sir.
Both are same.
Multiple
See,
integer.
Your
there is nothing difference. So now it is simple way. So now for an example, now if I written int a, int b, int c, rather than that, why I need to write every time integer? All these things are integers. I can say that a comma b comma c. And even if I can assign the values, I can assign the values here. There is no difference between this and this. Okay, if you have multiple values, this is how you can declare for this one. These are the ways to declare. And which is the right way of doing it? It is simple to do this. No, I wanted to do it in this way. Yeah, you can do that. There is no problem. If I do this, what is the output of this? What is the output I'll be getting here?
61.
61.
Will it print 61 or will it print me 5650?
No, 61.
61, sir.
61.
61.
61 only.
Now, what is this? If I do like this, what is the answer? Can I do in this way?
Yeah.
One.
Yes, sir. 150, sir.
Yes, sir.
150, sir.
When can we do this one?
150,
Yes.
sir.
So we can assign those particular values. Means if all the values having the same value, then I can assign it in this particular way. Then it is coming to 150. Okay. So now identifiers. So always you need to remember. So previously, one of our team members, so Dwarka, said that I define this one. So now this is where if you read this one, you will not have that confusion. Int a equal to 10, and once again int a equal to 100. Can I assign like this?
No.
This is not possible. So this is duplicated variable, right? So now with the same name, we are declaring it. Always you need to remember that integer variables should be unique in nature. Variable name is unique. The values can be dynamic. That is what we explained, right? Jar and then value. So one time I'll put sugar, one time I'll put salt. So the values of this one, it can vary. But the name of that one should be same. That is what you'll be trying to see it here. Always you need to remember the integer names should be a unique value. Okay, so you have to be very clear on this one, and you can see it, right? So these are the rules for names, naming convention, right? So when in our for newborn baby, so we would be keeping, when we're keeping the names, we see some certain rules and regulations, right? So when you're defining a particular variable name, so these are the things which we need to do it. So it shouldn't the name shouldn't contains, so the name should contains the letters, digits, underscore, and the dollar signs. We never use the dollar signs to actually when you go for the algorithms, they'll be using it. So don't even try this one. Okay, so this is when you go for a high level coding, so there we will go with this. Don't go for that. So you can use letters, digits, underscores. And Okay, so you forgot about this thing. So whatever I have been given you, right? So start with a small letter and go with this Hungarian notations. Make use of this one. Now, another important question which I wanted to ask you people is, now, many of times the people will do this mistake. I'll be defining this as int my name equal to press. Okay. Now I'll be writing this as int myname. Will I get this particular value? If I print this one, what it will print me?
No, it throws an error.
So always you should remember.
Errors.
Did I open the Eclipse? Okay, someone can open the Eclipse. Share the screen. Someone can share the screen quickly. Okay. Divya, share the screen.
Yes.
How the time is running fast. Are you sharing it?
Yeah.
Just comment all means from the line number 8 to everything commented.
Yeah.
Did you commented?
So 1 second, it's loading. It's loading, so 1 second.
Okay. So Dwarkna, can you share the screen?
The network is slow, so it's loading still.
Yeah, sir, I'm sharing.
Stop sharing, Divya.
Yeah, I'm stopping it. So it's there's no power gone. So
Okay. So just create one. Yeah. So here, just define one string integer after line number 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. String.
Yes. Yes. String. Boss.
Capital.
Yes, should be capped.
Define a variable name. String name. str caps name. N cap.
Your name.
Equal to press. Or whatever the name you wanted to give. Semicolon.
Shall I compile, sir?
Give the semicolon. You didn't close it.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, sir.
Then press this out this.
Control F.
No, first print this. Print this. Print the name.
Okay.
Okay. So when you are doing control space bar. Now, can I give the double quotes? Double quotes string name. Give them double quotes.
Double quotes means it will throw error. Otherwise, it will print only string names, sir.
Okay, hold on. Now, what it will print? Now, what is the output? I'll be getting it.
It will
String
print
name. STR name.
STR name.
STR name they will print it, sir.
So if I change that capital N to the small n, then
Then also it will print same.
so if I remove the double quotes, then
Print an end.
Dwarka.
Dwarka.
Okay, so just change the str, that name n equal to small, and then remove that double quotes.
Then it will throw errors.
It'll throw error.
Errors.
What error is that?
This is
Name
not
is
defined.
not declared.
This
Declare the
variable is not
variable.
defined.
Variable number not
This
declared.
variable.
That's it.
String.
So you need to practice this one. So many of the people, what they'll try to do is, okay, not many of the people. When I was learning this, I used to do these all mistakes. That is where I was just trying to show it to you. So always you need to remember. So you need to keep that exactly the name, the string names, so that you will be getting the accurate values over there. So this you practice it. So how many times you will practice? You will do new mistakes every time. Do those all mistakes so that you can remember it for a very long time. So now you are allowed to do the mistakes. Do that. And as much as you do the mistakes, you will learn as much as good. Okay. And one more thing. It is really saying that Java is pretty simple, but unless you practice. If you stop practicing for a day, then you are gone. You will not remember, or you will not understand the further sessions. Okay, because today we have been covered only variables. I thought of covering with these data types, typecasting and operators, but it didn't happen. So tomorrow what I wanted to give you is strings. This is a very really important topic. When you go for any interviews or anywhere, the first topics they will be asking around the strings. The strings is very less here. Okay, so the methods are here less. So go for Java T-point strings. So if you go for the strings, you can see it, right? These all things are there, and here few things you need to remove. So don't get confused on those things. You can know what is a string, mutable string, comparison, concatenation, substring, method of strings, buffer, builder, string versus buffer. Okay, till here you learn it. Substring, method of substring, till the strings you can learn it, and methods of strings also you can go through this. Now what are the, yeah, these methods are also very important. Go through till this particular, you go. Okay, you can go till this particular methods of string. Okay, this till here, and here also caret, compare, concatenate, contains, ends with, equals, ignore, format, format. Okay, get bytes, get chars, don't do this. Index, yes. Intern, no. Empty, yes. Join, last index, length, replace all, split, start with substring, to char array, to lower case to uppercase, trim, value also no. So do these all methods implementation and come back for tomorrow. This plus you need to do whatever the things are in the W3 school strings and these strings. Okay, tomorrow you concentrate only from the strings point of view and come back for the tomorrow session. I wanted to see these implementations. See, once again I'm saying it, I know that you people are copying and then doing it, but at least you try to understand what it was happening. See, it's not me. If you copy, if you show me the code, then I'll be happy. No, I'll be happy when you try to explain the code. See, I didn't ask you to explain the things today, but usually what I'll try to do is when you're showing me a code, you need to explain me the code line by line.